Okay, well, let's bring in Mustafa Barghouti, who is the Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative. He joins us now live from Ramallah. A very warm welcome to you. So I'm sure you are aware of the scenes coming out of the north of Gaza this evening, along with images of as many as 100,000 Palestinians who have been forced south by Israeli forces. Combining those two events, how do you see this playing out?
Well, we're not just following. I'm in touch with our colleagues in Gaza. We have many medical teams working there and suffering from this terrible situation. The only description of what's happening is that Israel is conducting 3 war crimes at the same time. The war crime of ethnic cleansing, where they have forced 1.5 million people to evict their homes and after destroying them, and the war crime of genocide, because what we see is nothing but genocide, with more than 11,000 Palestinians killed and probably 6,000 children killed, if we count those who are under the rubble and that nobody can get to because of Israeli airstrikes. And that is, of course, all combined with collective punishment. Collective punishment, depriving people from water, electricity, fuel. And you have seen that out of the 35 hospitals in Gaza, practically 18 or 20 have stopped working because of lack of fuel. Even those who are remaining functioning, they are bombarded constantly. We've seen horrible scenes of bombarding the Indonesian hospital, the Al-Nasser hospital, the Abdulaziz Rantisi Pediatric Hospital, and now the Shifa Hospital. So many people were killed inside the hospitals,
and all of this
including doctors and nurses.
All of this is happening despite the promise of these 4-hour pauses with at least 3 hours' notice. I mean, what does that say about the success of diplomacy so far to you?
There was no ceasefire, really, and no pause. The pause was only in the head of Mr. Biden, the president of the United States. But Netanyahu never recognized that and never implemented that. And the proof to that is that some people who were evicted from the north of Gaza and Gaza City, and while they were walking to the south at Salah ad-Din Street, were bombarded by Israeli airplanes and killed. So, and Israel never accepted any kind of ceasefire, not even pauses. And these pauses were actually made to help Israel evict and continue the process of ethnic cleansing of the people in the north and center of Gaza. They were not meant to really help the people. And in my opinion, the big question here that should be asked, as the head of the WHO have just asked in the Security Council, why the United States of America and the Prime Minister of Britain continue to oppose ceasefire? Why don't they force Israel to stop this atrocity?
Well,
why are they allowing this genocide on Palestinian people? And I think I've been hearing some of your guests, and I think you should be calling the Israeli army, not the Israeli army, but the Israeli terrorist army, because what they are conducting against the civilian population of Gaza is nothing but acts of terror.
While the United States and the likes of the UK continue to offer their unequivocal support to Israel, of course, there is this diplomatic push that is going to reach ahead, I guess, over the course of the weekend, the Arab League, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. What role do you think that they are likely to be able to play when it comes to ensuring humanitarian aid reaches Gaza? Will their involvement make a difference to you?
The involvement of whom? The Arab countries, you mean?
The Arab countries, regional players.
They're very weak, and they have not done what they should be doing. I mean, with the exception of a small number of countries. But in general, I think one of the reasons why Netanyahu is daring to continue these terrorist attacks is because some Arab countries continue to have normalized relations with Israel, because some Arab countries continue to have Israeli ambassadors in their country. They have to kick them out. And they have also to tell Israel that all the Arab countries in the coming Arab summit, which is going to be held tomorrow with the big delay, that they will send a convoy of humanitarian aid and challenge Israeli siege on Gaza. They can do that. They can invite all World Health Organizations and all humanitarian organizations in the world to join them in challenging this Israeli unacceptable siege and allows the flow of food, electricity, fuel, and everything to Gaza, and water in particular. They can do that. They can also tell the United States of America and United Kingdom and any other European country that continue to support the Israelis unconditionally that they will not receive Arab oil from now on, and that the Arab countries will not be importing stuff from them. I think only if they take these measures, then their voice will be counted for and will be considered. Otherwise, we will see the continuation of this terrible atrocity against the Palestinian people. What did you do? What did we do as Palestinians, I mean, to the world? In 1948, Israel was established on our land. They allowed them to steal our land. At the time when Israel was established, we owned 82% of the land of historical Palestine. Today, Palestinians in Israel own only 3.5%. Then in 1967, they occupied the remaining of the country.
I wanted to ask you about...
And now they are ethnically cleansing people from the West Bank. Excuse me.
Mr. Barghouti, I wanted to ask you about something you said in a recent interview. You said that you believe very strongly that it is Benjamin Netanyahu's goal to reoccupy the Gaza Strip for an indefinite period. What would the consequences of that be for the hope of peace in the region?
Well, Netanyahu said it himself. I didn't say it. I just quoted Netanyahu. Netanyahu said that he will keep security control and military control of Gaza for an indefinite period. This means reoccupation. But he wants to occupy Gaza, ethnically cleanse most of it, annex it to Israel, and then find somebody or some organization or some entity to take care of the humanitarian needs of the people, because as an occupying power, he doesn't want to fulfill his responsibility, exactly as he's doing now in the West Bank. So yes, he wants, and that would mean not only shrinking occupation, it will mean expanding occupation. And that is the death toll to the whole idea of peace based on two-state solution. This man, Netanyahu, came to power specifically to kill the possibility of peace, to kill the possibility of two-state solution. He's the man who aggravated the public in Israel against Yitzhak Rabin till Rabin was assassinated, because he signed a peace agreement with Palestinians. And Netanyahu made it the goal of his life to kill the Oslo process, to kill the possibility of two-state solution, and he's not hiding it. And now he increased the number of settlers from 120,000 in the West Bank to more than 750,000 and made them a fascist political power in the Israeli parliament and in the Israeli government, including people like Smotrich and Ben Gvir, who are not only extremists, but they don't shy away from calling themselves fascists.
Mustafa Barghouti, thank you very much for joining us on Al Jazeera. Mustafa Barghouti, Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative.
Thank you.